तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना. We are studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and we are in the conversations of 5th June. Yes, 5th June conversations, and we have come up to the point when I stand, I go into an ecstatic mood when I stand in a big meadow. I feel like a fish released from a bowl into a lake. So he wants to go to Moti Shil, taking M with him. And he wants to show that if you throw the food there, the fishes come. And you can observe the fishes feel how much free in the ocean. And then you can meditate on Nirakar by imagining your fish in the ocean, which is God. So you will have a relation with God. God is all-pervading that you will feel, and you will feel so happy and free in God. So that is the idea about that. And then he is telling about himself that if you stand in a meadow also, you would feel like a fish in water. So fish in water is the topic for teaching Master Mahashaya, who was the Nirakar sadhak at that time, and the relation has to be built up. So for Nirakar sadhana, the relation comes only when we feel God is all-pervading and I am within that pervading. Now, spiritual discipline is necessary in order to see God. Now, this is a special feature of this incarnation, to stress upon sadhana, because man should not believe that God will automatically come and grace him. No. Sadhana means change in our personality, and an effort is necessary to make that change. And Sri Ramakrishna describes his own sadhana again and again, again and again. It is for this purpose only, that when God himself does sadhana, we must follow it. And so, this is what is the topic now. I had to pass through very severe discipline because he is God. So unless he passes through intense discipline, the idea that we should do discipline itself will not come to us. How many austerities I practiced under the bel tree for Santra sadhana? I would be down, I would lie down under it, crying to the Divine Mother. Imagine all these sadhanas and the intense yearning behind it. And this is what he is teaching all of us by narrating it. O mother, reveal thyself to me. So this is the main sadhana. Prayer is the main sadhana. It expresses your yearning. The tears would flow in torrents and soak my body. So Thakur's intensity is so much that the world has never imagined up till now. And so, seeing that, we'll get some feeling at least. Or if you have feeling, it will be intensified. So Thakur's two specialities we see. He has done sadhana, a model sadhana, model sadhanas, and he likes to describe it again and again. There is no element of egoness possible in Thakur as an incarnation. So the purpose of describing again and again is to prompt us to follow that. Many of us, oh, I God, surrender, I have not done anything. That is not useful. So Thakur is again and again describing his own sadhanas. M. What impression it has created on M. You practice so many austerities, but people expect to realize God in a moment. So he has understood the purpose that people expect to realize God in a moment. Can a man build a wall simply by moving his finger around his home? So M has beautiful response. He has understood that problem, and through him we are getting all that. So he gives the simile that simply moving a finger will not build a wall, you will have to struggle. Master, with a smile, he has appreciated that. Amrita says, Amrita is a Brahma devotee, dear to Thakur, who has seen him. That one man, so explanation of an avatar. Amrita says that one man lights a fire and 10 bask in its heat. So, everybody is not going to do sadhana as the avatar has done. But avatar as a model has done, and avatar has done for others also. So if you love an avatar, that itself becomes a sadhana. We'll have to get prompted by him and do a little sadhana, but we need not expect to do as avatar has done. So much message is there in the Amrit's feeling. I want to tell you something else. So Thakur wants to tell some new facet. It is good to remain on the plane of the Leela after reaching the Nitya. Not without reaching the Nitya. But after reaching the Nitya, the transcendent reality, it is good to remain in the Leela. For whom? For avatar. That will come gradually. M. You once said that one comes down to the plane of the Leela in order to enjoy the divine plane. Once he has said that. But now he contradicts it. So what he has said, that means that enjoy Leela means unless you experience the pervasiveness of God, you are not fully realized. But now, Master, no, not exactly that. He said that I want to tell you something. So this is an old thing. Something new he wants to tell. For all of us, the Leela is real too. Tell me now what it means. Let us understand in this way. God, without any change in his nature, appears as the world. This is, people call it Maya, or this is called Leela. Leela without Maya has no meaning. This is called the Leela. Now, in this Leela, we are born, live, die, and we get deluded and become more and more bound. To help us out, God makes another special Leela. Without any change in his divine nature, he appears to become a man. He assumes a man body. And that Leela is real. So the Leela is apparently unreal, but within that apparently unreal Leela, the special Leela is special. The special Leela is a means to go beyond that Leela. And that Thakur wants to tell a new thing. Otherwise, things are routine. Clear? Let me tell you something. So on the basis of that, he is telling something. And to feel this, a thrill passes through the mind, and the love for Thakur and the feeling of his compassion for humanity becomes doubled. Himself is telling this. Whenever you come, a form of sadhana. I am avatar. You cannot serve God. You can serve me, and you should serve me. This is neither an ego nor selfishness, not for enjoyment. But he is telling, I will tell you something. So I am an incarnation, and you should serve me. In the end of the para, we say, it will benefit you. Whenever you come here, bring a trifle with you. So what you bring is not the main. But you are serving God in the form of incarnation by bringing something. Beautiful. If you do not understand his incarnation, this is either selfish enjoyment or ego. But it is not both. He has shown that he is incarnation and he has no selfishness, he has no self, he has no ego. Perhaps I shouldn't say it. Understood? Because it appears as ego or it appears as desire for enjoyment. It may look like egotism, he himself is telling. So differentiating an incarnation from everybody else is the new thing he is telling. I also told other saying that he should bring a penny worth of something with him. So he is now generalizing it to impress Master Mahashaya that everybody I am telling like that. Those who can understand and believe, I am God himself, I am incarnation. For them, these are the instructions. I asked Bhavanath to bring a penny worth of betel leaf. Everywhere penny worth, penny worth. Means how much and what you bring is not the question. Thing may be trifling. For example, he is telling Bhavanath a penny worth of betel leaf. Have you noticed Bhavanath, now about Bhavanath he tells, have you noticed Bhavanath's devotion? Narendra and he seem like man and woman. He is devoted to Narendra. Through him, he is devoted to God. Bring Narendra here with you in a carriage. So another way of serving the incarnation. This is for Master Masha. And for others also used to tell bring Narendra. It will benefit Narendra, Master Masha, and it will give joy to Sri Ramakrishna. And also bring some sweets with you. Pennyworth is not telling now to Master Masha. So he has generalized, but there is some special relation between Master Masha and Thakur. And later on in life we shall see Rakhal Maharaj was a spiritual son. And physical relation, no son was there. But through mental or apparently worldly relation, Master Masha was the son of Sri Ramakrishna. After Sri Ramakrishna left his body, Master Masha observed all those things which a son should observe for father. And personal requirement, bring a shirt for me, this or that, used to tell to Master Masha. Just like a son, financially or otherwise caring for his parents, Master Masha has behaved by Sri Ramakrishna's guidance. So that avatar, serving the avatar for all and for you specially. This is the new thing. Huh? And also bring some sweets with you. It will do you good. So clear. Now, who does it and who does not do it? Huh? Jnanis, that means that particular mode of life. They do not care for avatars. But Thakur here will show that Jnanis should also cultivate love. Otherwise, there is every chance of them going astray. So, knowledge and love, both are paths leading to God. Okay? Those who follow the path of love have to observe a little more outer purity. That is glory of knowledge. Because knowledge has different consciousness and they are cultivating that consciousness. And here you understand little more external purity. So Jnanis also have to observe purity, but it is more necessary in the type of a bhakta because but the violation of this by a man following the path of knowledge cannot injure him. Understand? So sometimes Jnanis appear to be very different from us, non-conformist. It is destroyed in the fire of knowledge. How much? Even a banana tree is burnt up when it is thrown into a roaring fire. Now he is talking about jnana. So they need not think of avatar as their path. The jnanis follow the path of discrimination. So they have to use their rationality, intellect, logic. Sometimes it happens that discriminating between the real and unreal, a man loses his faith in the existence of God. So Shankar has said, Swamiji has said, if you leave reasoning to its own scope, it will definitely end in nihilism. No God, nothing, zero. So man will become a Nastic. I am reminded here of something which I may tell or not tell. If I take somebody's name, a struggle in me. Our great revered Ranganathananda Swamiji, at some time of his life, when he was in Karachi, there was an engineering college principal, Junarkar, from Maharashtra, Pune. He was the principal. And there was another Swami working with him, Satsurupananda. Satsurupananda told me that Junarkar's daughters too, they were also devotees. But due to hearing Ranganathanji again and again, they almost lost their faith in God. Understood? Because he emphasized reason. So there is a Jwalanta example for that only I put. Without any the least disrespect to Ranganathanji. And I told once upon a time, so later on it was totally different. Later on he used to give Thakur's mantra to people. Okay. So a man loses his faith in the existence of God. Now here God definitely means a personal God, Sagum Brahma. So that is another thing, that laying too much emphasis on the Nirguna. Then that element of devotion goes away. So both good points, bad points, weaknesses, everything he is making clear for us. But a devotee who sincerely yearns for God does not give up his meditation even though he is invaded by atheistic ideas. So your devotee also, he may have some reasoning and atheistic ideas may come to him also, but it does not give up his meditation. That means upasana of a sagun fish because of his devotion. But that means the jnanis also should have devotion. Understood? That a jnani without devotion may become dry, may become atheist, but if he has some devotion also, he may be leading the path of knowledge. And path of knowledge has its own glories. He may not observe external purity so much. But if he has no devotion, then his life may become dry, he may go astray. But if he has some devotion also, then this will not happen. He will stick to his own path, but will not have any disbelief in God. No chance of his being atheist. For that, he should have some devotion also. Yesterday your friend came, na? Anyway, so he went on hundreds of questions and I replied. And then at the end, in a deriding voice, he said, and people do this devotion. And I jumped upon him and said, Thakur has told that is the only way to God, the only way. Devotion is a force. And I explained to him this point. He understood? The Upanishads themselves should be understood in that way. Mahaprabhu said Upanishads are the best Bhakti Shastras in the world. A man who's, now Thakur's examples are supreme. A man whose father and grandfather have been farmers, that means he has the farming sanskara and he believes in farming. continues his farming even though he doesn't get any crop in a year of drought. Let me refer to Bengali here because somewhere Thakur has said even if there is 12 years drought, he will not give up. And those who have taken up farming for cash gain, if 1 year there is no rain, they change it. That is Thakur has said. You got it, page? Can you tell me? You are following this now?
Page 206.
206.
Which one? This one? 206.
6.
Here.
8 जून अच्छा ऊपर है. Haja Sukha Vatsare. Okay. No, it is Haja Sukha. Maybe continues some years drought. Okay, huh? Lying on the mat and resting his head on a pillow, Sri Ramakrishna continued the conversation. What is that conversation? He said to M. Nobody else is present at that time? Continuously talking with M personally, na? Huh? Yes.
Guru Shishya Samvad.
Oh, this also is a Guru Shishya Samvad.
Subtitles.
Because subheadings are not there, na? So, we had met such a Guru Shishya Samvad in that 24th August. Guru Shishya Samvad. आज मंगलवार. So there is nobody else here. Huh? Thakur referred to what he told other and all that. Lying on the mat and resting his head on a pillow, Sri Ramakrishna continued the conversation. He said to him, "My legs are aching. Please stroke them gently." So service to incarnation in other way. Bring something, bring Narendra, feed, that is a different thing. And now stroke my legs. So what he told, he wants to get it done so that Mahendra will understand that. And ask him. This is extreme kindness. And this is not in front of people. So really a special day. We learned so many things from them. Because Mahendra has narrated in his gospel. Thus, out of his infinite compassion, the Master allowed his disciple to render him personal service. So we pass on to June 8, 1883. So this whole June 5, or the end of it was personal, na? Yes. Maybe there were many people before. Yes, he is talking to others also, na?
This is in the evening.
Hazara also was there.
But that was in the morning, I think, in the day. This is in the evening.
Yes.
This is in the evening.
Sandhya hui lo. ठाकुर আর নিষ্মার চিন্তা শুইয়া শুইয়া মনের সঙ্গে ফিস ফিস করিয়া কথা বলিতেছেন। কারুকে বলো না। Some of these delicate points are not coming in English. No? Now, in the beginning, we were looking in Bengali continuously. But now, how much we can look? Okay. So, June 8. So, this whole thing rested upon avatar and how to use him for your sadhana. And inside this itself, he said that sadhana is necessary. And this he showed as a path of sadhana or supplement to his other sadhanas. And Jnani and Ishvara Bhakta also. So beautiful. Now and then we are getting something tremendously new, original, beautiful, essential things. So June 8, 1883, it was a summer day. Yes, June. The evening service in the Kali temple was over. So according to our Western watch, it is quite late in summer. Sri Ramakrishna stood before the image of the Divine Mother and waved the fan a few minutes. That was his privilege. During Arati, he would wave the chamar or fan. Ram, Kedar Chatterjee and Tarak arrived from Calcutta with flowers and sweets. So, evening they have gone after Arati. Kedar was about, he is telling about Kedar now. Huh? Kedar was about 50 years old. At first, he had frequented the Brahma Samaj and joined other religious sects in his search for God. But later on, he had accepted the master as his spiritual guide and later on incarnation also. He was an accountant in a government office and lived in a suburb of Calcutta. So his personality has been described. Tarak was a young man of 24. His wife had died shortly after their marriage. He hailed from the village of Barasat, not far from Calcutta. His father, a highly spiritual soul, had visited Sri Ramakrishna many times. So that is the pedigree. The sanskaras are with him. Tarak often went to Ram's house and used to go to Dakshineshwar in the company of Ram and Nitya Gopal. He worked in a business firm, but his attitude toward the world was one of utter indifference. So Master Masha has also observed this when he was 24. He has noted in his diary. As Sri Ramakrishna came out of the temple, he saw Ram, Kedar, M, Tarak, and other devotees standing outside. So perhaps M also went that time. He showed his affection for Tarak by touching his chin. No, he is not so young, 24 years here. And said, what does it show? Touching the chin?
Loving affection.
Mother. So we know Rakal Maharaja's mother Thakur. Now let me narrate a whole thing for you. Mahapurush Maharaj, as this Tarak became later on, was from childhood wanted Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Though he had great love for God also. I'm not going to describe all those things. And he first visit to Sri Ramakrishna was in Ram's house. That is why he went again and again to Ram, because in his company he could come here. And he saw Thakur in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And that day after Samadhi, he talked only of Samadhi. So it came in his mind that if I come to him, my desire will be fulfilled. And Thakur also became attracted to him and asked him, you come there, in Dakshineshwar. So next day he walked and went to Dakshineshwar. He saw Thakur standing at the gate as if waiting for somebody. Now he made a salutation there. Thakur went in his room, called him inside, and Thakur sat on the cot. The thought came to him that outside it was too much of a formal pranam. Now he's sitting at ease, I will make another pranam. And that is by putting my head on his feet. So he started bending his head. And suddenly he saw Thakur as his mother. Not the mother who gave him birth and all that, but he saw Thakur as his mother.
Oh.
So, instead of putting the head on the feet, he put the head on Thakur's lap. And then Thakur said, have you seen, have you recognized? When Thakur said this, then that mother-son relation became transformed into another thing. And Mahapurush Maharaj saw Thakur as an infinite ocean, infinity, and he as a bubble or something of that water. This is the whole narration. So this mother-son is a channel through which that love flows, ending in Advaita. So we understand that he also felt Thakur as mother. Okay, so I told this story in support of this. Thakur touched his chin. This is clearly a mother showing the affection. Because he was 24, he was not so small boy. And though his attitude toward the world was indifference, he was very happy to see him, just like mother becomes happy when the child comes. All have come, but Master remarks he was happy to see him. Returning to his room, the master sat on the floor in the ecstatic mood, and his legs stretched before him, so totally informal. Now that is for Ram and Kedar. Everything for everybody. Ram and Kedar decorated his feet with flowers and garlands. The master was in Samadhi. So again, godlike. Kedar believed in certain pure practices of a religious sect to which he had once belonged. We are told there that he was going to Brahman Samaj and some other religious sects.
Navarasik.
Huh?
There is a Navarasik.
Naam de diye. There some other, there itself Navarasik or here?
Yes, sir.
Here. That is a type of that Kartavaja sector. He held the master's big toe in his hand, believing that in this way the master's spiritual power would be transmitted to him. These Navarasikas or somebody else. There is an incident in Mahapurush Maharaj's life. Some special celebration was there in Belur Math. And so many devotees are gathered. And Master Mahashaya also was there. Some devotee came, and taking Master Mahashaya's flow, he beat it in order to suck some blood from it. Then Mahapurush Maharaj hit him, drove him out, shouted at him, and drove him out to a long distance away from that place. And the devotee who had seen, he felt some reaction in his mind. He did not see that biting, but how much angry he is, why he should drive him out, like that he felt. Then next time when he came, Mahapurush Maharaj explained that he was doing such a thing and it's dangerous. And you were there, isn't it? So that man said, as if to satisfy my query, Mahapurush Maharaj said, you were here that time. So understood? Pure practices are there. Here, he does not mention that. He might not have done that. But they go up to this length. As Sri Ramakrishna regained partial consciousness, he said, Mother, what can you do to me by holding my toe? She is also not liked it at all. Kedar said, humbly, with folded hands. So Mashmasha said, now he is believing in Thakur. He had that sanskar. Still, in an ecstatic mood, the master said to Kedar, your mind is still attracted to woman and gold. Straight away, blind. No, there is another property in Kedar who has seen that because of his faith, he could bear all harsh words. What is the use of saying you don't care for it? That means the seeking power also is due to some desire. We require his grace, not his power. Go forward. Beyond the forest of sandalwood, there are many more things. Mines of silver, gold, diamonds, and other precious stones. Having a glimpse of spirituality, don't think you have attained everything. So he has found his weakness and told him he has gained some spirituality. But you have not gained everything. Go forward. And that example, we know that. A woodcutter, a brahmachari told, go ahead. So he went to next forest. He saw that is a sandalwood forest. Then after some time he thought he told me to go forward. So there was silver mine, then gold mine and diamond. That is the description of spiritual life. The master was again in an ecstatic mood. He said to Divine Mother, Mother, take him away. So same thing. Mahapurush Maharaj drove that man away actually. So Thakur is telling Mother, Mother, take her away. Though he loved Kedar. At these words, Kedar's throat dried up. In a frightened tone, he said to Ram, what is the master saying? So, a man is not bad. Some things in the man are bad, and that should be removed. For that man should suffer. Man should correct his course and come, not with any wrong idea. So many lessons. At the sight of Rakhal, Sri Ramakrishna was again overpowered with a spiritual mood. So, for Thakur to apparently angry and all that, he always is in ecstatic mood, is continuous. And we're seeing Rakhal again. He was mother for Rakhal. And Rakhal was highly spiritual person. At the sight of Rakhal, Sri Ramakrishna was again overpowered with a spiritual mood. He said to his beloved disciple, I have been here many days. When did you come? So this is a spiritual mood. Huh?
This is in, what does it mean? I hear many days.
I am avatar. I have come to the world many times. Otherwise, it is not me. Huh? So always he is introducing, he is in spiritual mood. When did you come to this world? I have come many times. Master tells it. Was the master hinting that he was an incarnation of God and Rakhal is divine companion, a member of the inner circle of devotees? So we shift to Sunday, June 10th, 1883. The master was sitting in his room with Rakhal, M. Latu, Kishori, Ramlal, Hazar and other devotees. We have known all of them. Huh? Yes. Now here, Ram Kedar, M and Tarak had come. So Rakhal was living with Thakur. And he might have entered at that time in the room. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning, Sunday. No? Describing his early life, Sri Ramakrishna said to them, during my younger days, the men and women of Kamarpukur were equally fond of me. That is the quality of spirituality, that is the quality of avatar. Women are attracted to a man, that is a different thing. Men are attracted to a person, that is a different thing. Women and men, both are attracted. So that is the spiritual attraction. Very equally fond of me. He was a child. Huh? Now he is telling the causes. They love to hear me sing. So from childhood, Thakur could sing without anybody teaching him. If he hears something once, he gets everything. I could imitate other people's gestures and conversation. So this is telling as his quality. That means if you understand the man's inside, due to which that gesture has come, then you can understand that gesture. And conversation. Through words, what is getting expressed. He can catch it immediately. This is also a spiritual quality. And I used to entertain them that way. So he will reproduce that in front of men and women. And they could understand. They could like it. The women would put aside things for me to eat. If somebody they have made in the house and it is nice, they would keep something for me. And when they visit next, he is there to feed me. Everybody took me in as one of the family. So Thakur's simplicity, guilelessness, no difference, that is the cause of others' attraction. If Thakur has some vanity or some, then they would not like that. But I was like happy pigeon. He is telling his choices. I used to frequent only happy families. I would run away from a place where I saw misery and suffering. In the childhood, as a grown-up man, he is kind to them. But childhood, he likes God. So God is Sadananda. Somebody sitting in misery, he would not like that. That is not the expression of God. One or two young boys of the village were my close friends. We know about one Jaya Vishnu, there may be some others. I was very intimate with some of them, but now they are totally immersed in the worldliness. A few of them visit me here now and then and say, goodness, he seems to be just the same as he was in the village school. It is same there. While I was at school, arithmetic would throw me into confusion because that is calculating something. But I could paint very well and could also model small images of the deities. Model means painting and sculpture, both of them, because there you can express the divine mood. That is a special quality as an incarnation. I love to visit the free eating places maintained for holy men and the poor and would watch them for hours. Chhatra is meaning. A dharmashala.
Sadavrata. Sadavrata.
Sadavrata means chhatra, what is called chhatra. Now we have a Sadavrata here. Ne? Sadavrata means food will not be refused to anybody who comes here. That is Sadavrata. Now Thakur is going there. Beggars are there, but monks are there. And he wants to observe them. I would watch them for hours. So every action of the monks he wants to see. All these are a child. I love to hear the reading of sacred books such as the Ramayana and Bhagavata. Not Mahabharata. Mahabharata has a lot of social, political history into it. Bhagavata. If the readers had any affectations, you understand affectations? Artificiality in his gestures. I could easily imitate them and would entertain others with my mimicry. So that weakness he could point out easily. I understood the behavior of women very well. So that is his universal mind. There is no other explanation. In childhood, and imitated their words and intonations. So there are also some artificiality special. He could imitate that. I could easily recognize immoral women. There now I want to secure. Where page?
208.
One word I want to see.
Bottom. Niche.
कोड़े रानी बाप के उत्तर नीचे जाई विधवा सोजा सीते केटेचे और खूब अनुरागेर सहित गाये तेल मागचे लज्जा कौन अच्छा perform their toilet with great care. I wanted this. Okay. Immoral widows, you see, in those days in India, widows who became widows in childhood were not allowed to marry second time. So now we don't get so many child widows. So in those days. And some of them, they cannot control. They become immoral. And those Thakur could detect easily. And is describing some of their behavior. Immoral widows part their hair in the middle and perform their toilet with great care. Meaning of this toilet great care is खूप अनुरागेर सहित गाये तेल मागचे. With great love for her own body, she is massaging or applying oil on the body. That is the toilet portion. Now it has become clear what is the toilet with great care. They have very little modesty. The way they sit is so different. But let's not talk of worldly things anymore. By telling a childhood and by telling the bad signs of some bad people, he is alerting our mind, but not too much. We must immediately turn our attention to God. Dwelling more on this will lower down our mind. This is necessary to know, but not to dwell upon. So at that point, Thakur says, will not proceed. He has such inner controls, inner responses. Otherwise, once start talking like this, he goes on talking like this. The master asked Ramlal to sing. So immediate changing is through a song. Master asked Ramlal to sing. Ramlal sang. के रणे नाचीचे वामा नीरद रणी शोणित सायरे जन भासीचे नवन नलिनी. अच्छा, यानी सिमिलर सॉन्ग we know ना. समरे नाचीचे
समरे नाचे
कार ए रमणी. Samare nachiche car e ramani. But here Kali is mentioned. Who is this terrible woman, dark as the sky at midnight? Who is this woman dancing over the field of battle? So who is not a question. Who is an expression of the remarkable nature of that person. Ke eshe chalo kore. What Thakur? Like a blue lotus that floats on a crimson sea of blood. So much she has killed. And she is blue. Who is she? Clad alone in the infinite for a garment. No clothes. Rolling her three great eyes in frenzy and savage fury. Third eye of knowledge. And because she has killed asuras, in that frenzy she is dancing. Under the weight of her tread, the earth itself is trembling. Shiva, her mighty husband, who holds the fearful trident, lies like a lifeless corpse beneath her conquering feet. So that is the story. When she killed the asuras, she became filled with that frenzy. And moving with that sword, she is moving. All the gods and goddesses became afraid. Who can calm her down? So Shiva took it upon himself, went to that battlefield and lay down. She, while dancing unconsciously, climbed his body. And when she climbed his body and looked into his eyes, she was frozen. So that is the story. So Shiva could stop her in this way. So the whole song is like that. The next song described the grief of Mandodari. So that song is not given, Master is translating. The next song described the grief of Mandodari at the death of her husband Ravana. Now Mandodari was not only favorite of Ramana, but she was the most chaste wife of Ravana, and she warned him again and again to return Sita, don't fall for her, but he did not obey, and finally he was killed by Rama. So Mandodari is weeping. That is being described. As he listened to it, the master shed tears of sorrow and said,
Should we stop?
over, oh, I didn't mind it. From Mandodari, we'll start again. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavi Viriditam Kalma Shapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhui Grunanti Ye Bhuridajana Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.